This is a 2009 XVS 950 Yamaha Dragstar V-Star. I'm not sure. It's part of the Star series. It's a nice looking bike. A lot of bubulous plastic and whatnot on it, but kind of cool bike. Guy brought it in to me and it won't start. He's put a new battery in it. It was sitting for about 2 years and it's got really low kilometers. It's got 5,038 kilometers, which is about, I don't know what, 4,000, about 3,600 miles, something like that. Anyways, really, hardly used really. And put a battery in, it wouldn't start. Been sitting for 2 years, wouldn't start. And the noticeable thing immediately with this is that with the kill switch on and the key on and a good battery in it, you wouldn't hear the fuel pump cycling. There would just be no priming. Normally fuel injected vehicles, what they do is they prime. You turn the key on, it goes for about 3 seconds, and then it shuts off. It doesn't keep priming the fuel pump. So there's this brief and then it just shuts off. So this wasn't doing it. And it's almost like the kill switch was on, but it wasn't. So easy way to check this. If you got one of these 950s sitting around, you're trying to figure out why the fuel pump's doing what it's doing. This particular one, the fuel pump is shot on it. And somebody, I'm not 100% on this, but somebody I think has put something in the fuel. It's very sticky, or maybe somebody's put an additive in. Maybe it's not malicious. Maybe it's the guy's jilted ex-boyfriend. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but there was a really weird thing in the fuel where it had stained everything. And I'll show you the pump in a bit here, but I'll also show you how to check the pump. So what you do is you hook a test light up to the negative, because this other one is going to be positive. So you put the probe in there, and then you turn the key on, and it should light up briefly, just like that. And that's the length of time your pump would be cycling. Well, of course, it's unplugged, but the computer is still cycling the pump, which it thinks is there, but it's not there. So we'll try this again. So key on. And there you go. That would be your pump cycling. So it's this furthest one back here towards the back of the bike. There's two of them. One's towards the front of the bike, one's toward the back of the bike. It's the one towards the back that's positive wire that leads into the fuel pump, which is this black wire here. And it's underneath this chrome cover. You can see it's on the back of the bike. So easy peasy. And if you got voltage going up to here, then you know everything else is good. Your relays, your kill switch, your kickstand switch, your clutch switch, all the regular normal culprits. Because the fuel pump doesn't really go that often actually on these. Are fairly reliable, but this one, not so much. So here's what's left of the fuel pump. And the fuel filter in the bottom here, it's just falling right apart. Well, actually, look at that. It's just crumbles. So that's kind of weird. And it's full of crap too. Back to the fuel pump. Is inside this housing here. Right here. That's the actual pump. And if you can see on the outside, I've taken some steel wool here and cleaned it off. But the rest of it has a really sticky coating to it. And then it has all this stuff in it. And some of it's gauze material, I think. Or maybe not, I'm not sure. Normally they're empty. I'll show you a good one. So this is a clean one right here. That's a new one. This is another new one. It's new in the package. This one too. And you can see this one's just, it's just falling right apart. It's just like totally disintegrating as I touch it. So pretty grotty. And this is the pump that came out of it, and it's got a sticky coating on the outside. I'm not sure what that's about. Something that was in the fuel, because you can see the coating. See that? Normally this is like laboratory white, and it's got a coating of something on it. So I think somebody's put something in this fuel, maybe. I'm not sure. And anyways, all these come the same. They're same on passenger vehicles, trucks, motorbikes, etc., etc. They all got these pumps. ATVs, side by sides, They all come with a pump like this, and you have to take the whole housing apart and get at this little pump to replace it. Otherwise, from Yamaha, here's a fuel pump. Here's part number. This for the 950 XVS 950, and there's the price on it. Look at that. It's $681.30 USD from Partzilla. Or you go on eBay and you buy these. They're called Chemso, and they're okay. I've used quite a few of them, and they come with a bunch of different filters. The problem, they're sort of generic. They fit a bunch of different bikes, but they work just fine. They put out, you know, whatever the recommended pressure is, 40, 50 psi, and so that's a good alternative. I'm gonna order one of those, put this in, and get this bike running. So kind of interesting, isn't it? But not really. These filters on the ends come, and as you can see, all shapes and forms, different configurations, variations on the theme. Right? You know, absolutely silly, right? I mean, just go down. You'd have 100 of these and you wouldn't have the one that fits. So these little pumps, they don't always fail outright. A lot of times you'll find what happens with these is you got low fuel pressure. And if you're on the throttle and it just doesn't have the oomph that it used to, or it's sputtering, or it falls flat after a certain RPMs, we're talking about fuel injected bikes, obviously. But these can be suspect too. They just won't put out the pressure anymore. So you got to put a fuel pressure gauge on your tap into your fuel rail. And there's usually like a Schrader valve you can just screw onto and then take a reading. But my point is that these don't always fail outright. They just kind of diminish over time. I think maybe they get crap in there. They're pressed together, so you can't take them apart. Well, you can, but it's hard to get them back together. And then what you're going to fix when you get inside there is probably about nothing anyway. So, you know, like, just buy a new one. They're fairly reasonably priced. They're 30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks. The whole pump assembly is like somewhere, pick a number, between $600 and $2,200. You know, I've seen them really expensive on BMWs. Top tier motorcycles, flagship models, they tend to be rather pricey and spendy, but you don't have to buy the whole housing. You just replace this motor that's within the housing and then plug her in, put her all back together, and away you go. So yeah, FYI, they're all crimped together, and there's parts in here that really aren't serviceable. This one is a Bosch pump, made in China, it says. So there you go. Yeah, hope that helps somebody. Fuel pumps, fuel injected pumps. You have problems, if this brought you here, it's pretty common with a lot of motorcycles, actually. A lot of motorcycles, side-by-sides, trucks, passenger cars. If you're having this sort of problem, it's always suspect fuel pump, and you have to do a fuel pressure check if it hasn't failed outright. So there you go. Hope that helps. Have a good night, morning, day, wherever you are. Cheers. Talk to you the next time. Bye.